dollar, that's what I need. What I need.
Hey folks, welcome back. I am Jon Najarian, and this is 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I bring you unusual option activity, and as you know, I cite it for you, show you exactly the strikes that we're talking about, and then you get to decide if it's something that's interesting enough for you to act on. So, with that said, let's get to it, and let's hope the audio works okay today, okay? Let's hope. Here we go. All right, we're almost there, folks. Here we go. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Boom, boom. Let's hit this one. And then get into bang. Sorry about that. Just been a little busy here today. That's what happens when the market swings this dramatically. I do a lot of trading, and I get the update for 3 at 3 up a little late. It's 2:05 Central, 3:05 Eastern. But nonetheless, let's get to it. It is 10/20/2020, and I am Jon Najarian. This is presented for educational and informational purposes only. Full stop. Intellectual property rights, yes. We have intellectual property here, so any reproduction, manipulation, or sharing is expressly prohibited without written permission, which means just ask us, folks, because we have trademarks, patents, copyrights, registered marks on everything you're about to see. Please just ask us. We'll be happy to let you do it. Chances are to reproduce it in a format that, as long as you cite Market Rebellion, we're happy to provide. All right, so space, the final frontier, which is also Virgin Galactic, SPCE. This is me talking about it exactly 1 week ago today, because on the 13th of October, we said, well, the stock's $23, and we see an awful lot of these 21 calls being purchased. Here is what that stock has done since then. As you see, the stock rallying into Friday of last week to the $22 level, so it was nice. But as it pushes all the way into the $24 level, much nicer. As you see, high on the day was $24.37. It is presently at about $23.23. At least that was just a little bit ago it was there. And Mr. Chanos, Jim Chanos, a famous short seller, was talking very positively, but apparently he was kidding. And for that reason, it gave up some of those early gains and flipped back down to being at $23.23, only up 12% since we cited it. Well, still works for me, folks. Bang. And in fact, I have taken off over 90% of my trade here in SPCE, which is Virgin Galactic. If you'd like to learn more about trading, stock, options, futures, and or options, well, come on over to marketrebellion.com/get started, because we can show you all of that at marketrebellion.com/get started. All right, let's take a look today at PDD. Now this one, very strong activity, started the beginning of October when it was a $72 stock. As you see at the bottom of that screen, $72 or $71.94, they were buying October 79 calls. That's pretty far out of the money, but it ended up working out, didn't it? Because a week later, on the 9th, it was $77. And at that time, they moved up to the 80 calls. Now look at today's date, 10/20, which is on the far left side of your screen. 10/20 at 10:34 in the morning, they started buying calls again, this time at the weekly 90 strike with the stock at 88.81. Now that kind of looks like that'll work, doesn't it? This is a trader who's been right several times. There is the stock moving through 90, bang, today. So stock, as you see there, a high roughly $90.18 moves up nicely, and there you see the stock moving from the $72, $73 range back on the 2nd of October. That's why we follow the smart money, my friends. Taking a look at this one. Second of our 3 at 3 is Disney. And Disney, they put on a bullish spread, but they're a little too bullish for me. Now, what they did was they came in and bought 8,700 of the December 140 calls. Now, 140 means the right to buy it. Hands towards me, palms towards me, means I'm buying at the 140 strike. And then they sold, hands, palms out, at the 155 strike. That's a big leap for a stock that's 125 bucks. So, as many of you know, what I like to do is a spread. And this is the spread that I chose. You have to decide what's appropriate for you. If you want to spend a little, you could buy the 130s and sell the 135s. You could buy the 125s and sell the 135s, whatever. This particular spread that I did, folks, was I bought the 130 calls for basically $5, and I sold the 140 calls $10 higher for approximately $2.20. So $5 minus $2.20 would be $2.80. That is my entire risk in the trade. I could more than triple my money if the stock goes to or through 140, but I'm truncated. My profit can never be greater than the upper strike that I have sold, which is the 140 strike. So at 140, 141, 150, doesn't matter. I don't do any better once we cross 140 in this 10-point spread. Differential between the two strikes, 130 and 140, $10. That's the maximum profit. I paid $2.80 for that spread. Now, like I say, if you don't want to spend that much money, because $280 a spread means $2,800 to simulate a 1,000 share position, although a 1,000 share position in Disney right now would set you back $125,000 because stocks trading 125,000 shares. You get the idea. So if you're somebody that wants to simulate a 1,000 share trade, then by all means, you would buy the 130s, sell the 140s 10 times, which would mean you have $2,800 at risk. But volatility, or Vega, which is volatility, is addressed because you've sold an option for every option you've purchased. And as long as we're doing this one-to-one, the theta, or time decay, is also addressed. You decide how you want to trade it, folks. I've told you what I am doing. Let's get to the third and final of our 3 at 3 right about now. Kinder Morgan, KMI. Kinder Morgan, stock's $12.62 at $12.43, as you see on the screen here. KMI. So November 13 calls. Now, you could say, well, John, since you like these spreads so much, could I buy the 12 or the 1250s and sell a higher strike? Of course you could. You have to decide how to trade it, folks. I'm just showing you what they did here. And they did a spread. They bought the November 13 calls and they sold the 1350 calls. So that's a 50-cent spread, and they did it for like 11 cents. Now, obviously, they could turn $11 into $50. That's a great trade. You have to decide if that's the kind of trade you'd like to put on. Tell you the trade that I did here. So I went out here and did the same regular November expiration calls, because they have weeklies in this one, folks. So I went out and I did the regular November calls, and indeed they do have $12.50 as a strike price. So I bought the $12.50 calls and I've sold the $13.50 calls. I paid 57 cents, it looks like, and I sold at 20 cents. So that means I paid 37 cents for a $1 spread, because I have the right to buy it at $12.50. I gave somebody else the right to take it from me at $13.50. Again, you have to decide what's appropriate for you. I'm just giving you the numbers and where I did the trade. There is a chart of Kinder Morgan, basically $12.60, $12.70 for most of the last hour, somewhere in that range. Bang. If you'd like to learn more about unusual option activity, how we track it, and how you could trade it, you can go over to marketrebellion.com/UOA. That is marketrebellion.com/UOA. What will you find there? Well, you'll see how you could join Unusual Option Activity Elite, which is 25 trades a day, or you could come on over and check out the 1 trade a day version or the 1 trade a week version. We have all kinds of different offerings, folks, for whatever fits your budget and however active you are in the market. With that said, I'm going to let Aloe Black take us out again with that song, I Need a Dollar.
I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey. Well, I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey. Said I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me?
I'll see you tomorrow, folks. Have a great day. I've got the workout video coming your way as I do my usual thing. Thank you. Have a great day, and please tell a friend about 3 at 3.